How deep would the snow be if we used all the water on Earth to make one mega snowstorm?
That sounds like a tricky question. Let's jump right into it.
Jelly Science!
Snow is made from frozen water. It forms high in the clouds and falls gently to the earth. This winter we've had lots of snow at our house, but even the snow that we got is just a tiny portion of all the water the earth has. To answer our question, we're going to need to figure out how much water is in snow. Let's grab some and find out.
This is an experiment that you can do at your own home when you have snow. We first get a picture or some kind of container for the snow. Then you scoop some up and place it in a safe place in your home. The snow will slowly melt, and you can see how much water made up the snow.
Snow is actually made out of frozen raindrops.
When the snow is melted, we need to see how much water we got. First, we need to measure how tall the pitcher is. It's almost 9.5 inches tall. Next, we need to measure how much water we ended up with. About 2.5 inches.
Do you see how the snow took up more space than the water? That's because the snow is less dense than the water. What this means is that snow takes up more room than the same amount of water.
That means that our super snowstorm will be bigger than all of the oceans?
Right! It turns out there is a lot of water on the earth. Water can be found all over. Not only do we find it in the oceans, rivers, and streams, but it can also be found frozen in ice, like glaciers and on the North and South Poles, where it mostly exists in ice sheets and icebergs.
Or else can we find water?
Water is also trapped beneath the ground in underground rivers and lakes called aquifers. Water finds its way into caves, and it can even make hot springs and geysers in some places of the world. Water is even in tricky places like the sky and the clouds, and even the very air we breathe. Did you know that most of your body is made of water?
That's crazy!
Not only is water everywhere, but there's tons of it on the earth. Scientists estimate there are 1,386,000,000 cubic kilometers of water. That's so much! It's really hard to imagine, but we're going to try to show you what 1 cubic kilometer of water looks like in the popular game Minecraft. Look how far this water spreads out in Minecraft. It took us over 1.5 minutes to fly across in creative mode. This is only 1 cubic kilometer of water. The Earth has more than 1 billion of these. So, to figure out how deep the snow would be if we used all the water on Earth, we first have to find a way to turn all the water into snow. This sounds very difficult, but it's not impossible. First, we'll need to get the water off of the earth and all of it up into the clouds. The way that we'll get that water off of the ground and into the sky will be with a magic thermostat. Remember how the snow and ice turns into water when it gets warmer? Well, if we could raise Earth's thermostat high enough, we could eventually get all the water that's trapped in snow, ice, and glaciers to melt into water. And if we turned up the thermostat even higher, we could even get that water to boil and turn into steam in clouds. We're so close to getting to the answer of our question, but there's a pretty big downside. How would you like to live in a world that's this hot all the time?
No way.
As it turns out, getting the Earth that hot would make it impossible for us and animals to live here anymore. Unfortunately, Earth's going to be destroyed in the process of answering this question. This can happen when we ask these hypothetical science questions, but hey, we're not going to let that stop us. We have to figure out how deep this snow will be.
Why would we make the world hot to make it snow?
It might seem silly, but we do need to heat up the Earth first to get all the water up into the clouds. Then we will turn our thermostat down below freezing. That's when the most amazing thing will happen. The ultimate snowstorm. Remember how we found the Earth has over 1 billion cubic kilometers of water? If we spread this out evenly, it turns out that gives us a depth of 2.7 kilometers of water everywhere over the surface. After doing the math using that snow that we turned to water in our own home, we figured out exactly how deep the snowstorm will be.
The snow will be much deeper, over 7.5 kilometers deep. That's more than 4.5 miles deep, or over 24,000 feet deep.
To put that in perspective, the snow will be deeper than every mountain is tall in the world except the ones in the Himalayas. It's as deep as 9 Burj Khalifas, which is the tallest building in the world. The snow would come almost to the height that airplanes fly. Can you imagine the amazing snow fort you could build? In summary, the deepest snow possible would be several miles deep, but it comes at the cost of destroying the planet for us. It sure would be amazing to see if you could though, wouldn't it? We love making you videos. Please consider giving us a like and a subscribe.
So is it Venus? I can't remember.
Go.